Happy Tuesday! Hello, 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 everybody. So it's Tuesday. How to Tuesday? We're doing wings. So I had a few requests. Some people want angel wings, eagle wings. Here we go. The mouth's not working already. So say hello, hello, hello if you're painting with me tonight. And let's do this, fam. And of course we have to say hello to the Mr. Butters, right? Because he always wants to chime in and say hello to you guys. So let's see, where's he at? Hi, Mr. Butters. Hi, buddy. What you doing? You a good boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. So that's out of the way. He might chime in later. Let's look at our supplies. Hello, Aaliyah. How you doing, sweetheart? So I got my palette. Got to put my colors on it. Of course, I got my drink. We've got all sorts of little brushes here. I'll tell you what I'm using when I'm using it. Our water. You know, I put out a palette knife, so let's see if we get to that. Hello, Kristen. How are you doing, love? So say hello, hello if you're painting with me tonight. Well, actually, we're so this is a practice session. There's no actual painting, and we're going to be practicing wings tonight. So, and this is your practice section. That's twice already. This is your practice session. So if there's anything that you want to see or you want to ask me, this is the time to do it. It is always, always, always free to watch. Tips are appreciated because, you know, art supplies aren't free, people. So you guys are the ones that keep this train rolling. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to everybody who has sent support before. And if you can, great. If not, share the video. That helps too. All right, so say hello, hello, hello. If you're painting with me tonight, I want to put you in your handy dandy holder. I'm going to pour my paint. We use the same colors all the time. White, black, red, yellow, and blue. And Aaliyah wants to paint an angel for a friend. So that sounds amazing. I actually did an angel painting. It is in the replays. So you could go off the cuff and do one on your own. If you want a video of a complete angel, there is definitely one in there somewhere. And tonight we're going to cover the wings. So you're going to be all set for that, Aaliyah. You will be all set. So, hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Cynthia. How you doing, sweetheart? Hi. So I'm going to put you in your handy-dandy holder. And I already painted the background on. Yeah, check it out, Aaliyah. Check it out. It's in there somewhere. For some reason, the hey Kim, how you doing, sweetie? For some reason, the all my titles are off. But if you hit play video and tap it once, it'll tell you what the video is. It'll tell you the title. So I'm not really sure why I lost all my titles on my videos, but that's all right. You just tap on it and it tells you what the video is. And somebody said if you search it like outside of the page, that you get all the titles for the videos. So, and you guys know replays are always, always available and always free to watch. All right, so I'm going to pour my paint. You guys pour your paint if you're practicing along with me. Hey, Kim. So, Kim, I didn't forget about your horse and buggy, but all my paintings are going to be about Mother's Day, and then after Mother's Day, I'll do the horse and buggy, okay, sweetheart? I didn't forget you. So Friday, I posted the event. Hi, Michelle. How you doing? So I posted the event for Friday. This is Friday's painting. Mama Dragon in the house. Ooh, what? That's what I'm talking about. So that is for Friday, and I don't know. This is a work in progress, but for next Friday, I don't know if you guys can guess what these suckers are going to be, but this is going to be a next Friday. All right, Kim, sounds good. So this is going to be not this week, next week. So, see if you guys can guess what those are. I don't think it's really hard to figure it out. I don't think it's hard at all. All right, so hello, Michelle. Hey, Lizzie. No, you didn't tune in late. Lizzie, you're good to go. I just painted the background on real quick because, you know, I don't think you guys want to sit around and watch me put light blue paint all over my canvas. So, and I wanted my background to be dry so I could get to the details of the wings without having to wait for the paint to dry. Hey, Teresa, how you doing, sweetheart? Thank you so much for the support, Teresa. I really, really appreciate it. Hey, Deb. How you doing, hon? Oh, you can't stay it too long. That's okay, Deb. That's right. Thank you for saying hello. I appreciate it. All right, so let's make sure I got everybody here. We're good to go. All righty. So, pour your paint, people, if you're practicing along. And again, like I said, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me. This is your practice session. This is your opportunity to ask me anything that you might be wondering how to do. All that good stuff. So if you guys tuned in last Friday, you knew I had a whole big problem with my yellow paint. But I fixed it. I made sure I fixed it today. Yes, I did. I made sure I fixed the yellow paint. So, we're doing pretty good over here. I didn't get any paint all over myself yet. So, here we go. Black, white, blue, yellow, red. All that good stuff. So, I did put on the event page, people, what kind of wings you wanted to see. Somebody said they wanted to see a red-winged blackbird. Somebody said they wanted to see an eagle. And, of course, we have the angel wings. So, if there's anything else you'd like to see, just let me know, all right? So, I'm going to start off with the wing of the blackbird. Alrighty, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to take my... Which brush do I want to use, people? Which brush? Let's grab this one. So, this is just a number 8 round. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to swirl tap dab it in my water. And somebody wants to see a red-winged blackbird. So that's what we're going to start with. Alright, so I'm going to just grab my black paint. Alrighty, and we're just going to do a shape of a wing. Nothing hard there. Right? We painted angels, we've painted robins, we've painted all sorts of things. So I'm just taking my black paint and let's come up over here and up onto this top corner to do our wing of our red-winged blackbird, since it was somebody's request, and you guys know I had to Google that one. I had no idea what a red-winged blackbird was. Alright, so we're going to start with a wing shape, right? So it's going to loop around over here, and we're just going to bring it on down. Alrighty, and then this part is going to go up. Alright, so very simple shape of a wing, right? It's a teardrop on its side. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to fill it in. And when I fill this in, I want to do like brush strokes. So I'm starting to get the feel of feathers. So see how I have like a little flick there? That's all you want to do. So whenever you're doing like feathers or something, just flick your brush. Just flick your brush so you get that little bit of texture. And I'm going to grab the tiniest amount of white paint. The smallest amount ever. Ever. Tiny amount. So Lizzie, you are all good because I just started. So look, just a small amount of white paint I'm going to put on here. So this way, when I do my flicks, you're going to see the different texture of the feathers. See that? You guys see that? So nothing hard there. Just put a little bit of, if you're doing a wing and it's black, just put a little tiny bit of white paint on that brush. Just the smallest smidgy amount. That's all you need to do. And then when you flick your brush, hey Lisa, when you flick your brush, you're going to see the wing texture. All right, that's all. And you don't have to stick to that line that you did for your shape. You can go out of the line, you know. It depends how big and fluffy you want your wing to be. That's all right, Lisa. Hey, Samantha, how you doing, sweetheart? Hi. It's all right, Lisa. Somebody asked for, what am I painting here? A red-winged blackbird. So, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right, and then for the feathers on this part, right? So these are all just tiny little feathers doing their thing. Okay, they're just tiny little feathers doing their thing. And then when you get to the bottom of the wing, when you get to this part, I am using a round brush. So this is a number 8 round. I don't know what the number 8 stands for, but it's just a round brush. It's nothing fancy. So that's how big it is. That's my thumb. So when you get to the end of your wing here, then you just want to do a pull. You want to do a pull because the feathers on the ends of the wing are going to be the long feathers. So then you just want to pull them out. You want to pull them out so you get that nice long, feather look. All right, so you're going to do little dabs up in this part of the wing, and then you want to take your brush and go back in there and just do long okie dokie round brush. That's it. So, and then you're just going to do long strokes like this on the bottom of this wing. That's all you're going to do. Long strokes like that. And you just want to keep that shape. You want to keep that shape. Nothing hard there. Okay? Hey, Julia Ann. That's all right. We're doing a red-winged blackbird here. So, we're going to be doing lots of wings. So, I'm just going to swirl tap dab my round brush. Let's roll tap dab my round brush. And the top part of their wing is red. Go figure, right? Like you didn't know that already. So I am going to add in, again, I'm just doing little flicks. I'm doing flicks. Let's keep that texture going, you know, even though I'm going to paint over it. I'm doing flicks, those little flicks. All right, and I picked up some of the black, so I'm going to clean off my brush again. And clean off my brush again. And I'm going to come around this way. And I'm just going to arch around for that top part of the wing. And then I'm going to do these flicks in here. All right, so we'll let that dry a minute. And then we'll add our colors. Okay, guys? So there you go. Julia Ann's in the house. Hi, Julia Ann. How you doing? Lisa's here. Hey, Lisa. How you doing, guys? How you guys doing? What's up, fam? What's up, fam? There we go. All right, so we're going to let that dry a little bit and then add, you know, we're going to add the colors in there to match the bird. So any bird you're doing, there's your wings, okay? So you do that, any type of bird you're doing. That's how you do the basic. You're cold. It's actually warm here. I'm actually in the t-shirts and the shorts. You're lost already? No worries, Lisa. I'm going to be doing more wings. So, but every wing of a bird, if you're doing a closed wing, that is the general shape. Okay? So I didn't do much, Lisa. I didn't do much at all. I didn't do much at all. All I did was draw a teardrop. This is all I did, okay, guys? Those of you coming in late. All I did was draw a teardrop like this. So I just drew a teardrop like that. You know, because this would be the rest of the bird. Kind of like when we did our robin. All right, so this would be the rest of the bird here. Whatever kind of bird he is, right? So that would be the rest of the bird. So I drew the teardrop. And then all I did was take black and white paint and do little flicks in my wing, like that. Just little flicks. Okay? And this is how you would do the wing of any bird. So I just do little flicks to give it the feather texture. Give it the feather texture. And then on this part, you're going to do longer pieces. You're going to do longer pieces on this part. So you're just following the shape of that wing. And then this part will be longer pieces. So that's all I did. That's all I did, guys. That's how easy it is to do a wing of a bird. All right, Lisa? So now you're all caught up, and Julia Ann and everybody else that's chiming in right now. So that's it. That's how easy peasy that is. Okay? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alright, so I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. I'm going to go back up to the original one. Oh, geez, Julia Ann, that is cold. Put on one of those nice cozy sweaters. Get in a nice cozy blanket. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to come up here. And I just have white paint on my brush. And again, I'm flicking. So I'm going to put my layer of white on here. Because this wing of this particular bird has a line of white. A line of white here. Alright, so we're going to do that. And then I can just smush this part because this part's really smooth. The feathers are so close together that this part of a wing is like really smooth. So you can just smush that out. Oh, you guys are calling, all my Canadian fans are all getting snow, huh? All yous are getting the snow, huh? Yeah, it's actually warm here. It's actually warm in New Jersey. Alright, now I'm just grabbing my red paint. Swirl tap down my brush. I'm going to grab my red paint. And I'm going to follow this line around. And then I want this white to stay in here. So I'm going to start, because you want to start your flicks above what you want to be white. So shortchange it a little bit. Don't start your flicks exactly where you want. Like, don't start, like, if the red's to here. You guys got a whole bunch of rain, Aaliyah? Oh, boy, so I'm really appreciating our weather today, then. We had a gorgeous day in New Jersey. So when you start putting in your other color, make it smaller than you want. Because as you're doing the flicking motion, you're going to wind up going into where you want the actual spot to be of the color. And if you start at that actual spot where you want the color, you're going to wind up pulling it in too far, and then you're not going to have those different colorings. So, I forgot who asked for a red-winged blackbird, but there you go. There is the wing for a red-winged blackbird. Right? That wasn't hard at all. Wasn't hard at all. So I'll give you guys a second to catch up, mustard, so you're not lost. If you're practicing along, take a sip of my soda. And somebody asked me for eagle wings. So I want to show you the wings of an eagle. Oops. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is eagle wings. All right. So there is your basic shape. I mean, obviously I did the coloring as the bird someone requested, but any single bird out there that you paint, every single one, you can just follow that and then just put in the coloring of whatever type bird it is. And that's how you would do the wing of a bird. All right? Just like that. Easy peasy. Nothing difficult there. Not hard at all. Alrighty, guys? So, now that took about 2 seconds worth of time. Everybody have a good night, and I'll see y'all later. Now, I'm just playing. That's how you do wings, and we're all done. I'm silly, right? Yeah, I'm really silly. Hi, everybody. Hello. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so we're going to turn around and do the wings of an eagle. Let's do the wings of an eagle or a very large bird. So this, you know, this would be an eagle, it would be an owl, it would be a hawk, it would be like any of those very large predator birds. This is how you do the wings of them. So I'm going to do this wing. I'm going to do the wings spread out. I'm going to do the wings spread out so you can see how to do the wings being spread out. All right, so if I'm doing the wings spread out, I'm going to grab a bigger brush. Da, 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 da. What brush should I grab? Oh, yeah, I'm trying to find a small flat here. All right, so this is just a small flat brush. See? Like Big Boy, but he's small. Yes, yes, flying eagle. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing, all right? So there you go. This is a flat brush. That's all I'm grabbing. It's probably a ½ inch. I mean, Big Boy is an inch. So Big Boy's an inch, and this is this big. So I would say it's a ½ inch flat. All right, guys? And what am I going to grab first? What do I always grab first when I'm doing a shape? I grab white paint. So let's roll, tap, dab that ½ inch brush. And I'm going to grab my white paint. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to very simply just put in, shoot, there's the bird, okay? There's our bird center. Right, we're not worrying about that because we're just covering wings. We're not doing, I already did birds. And we got to do, you know, if you guys want a birds part 2, we can do a birds part 2 because I don't even remember what birds that we did already. All right, so the wings. Okay, so this is going to come out this way. Shoop. And this one's going to come out this way. Shoop. And I'm going to do a little bend here. I'm going to do a little bend on that one. All right, so this one's straight up. Beep. And this one's going to do a little bend. Okay. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to fill in this part. Because this part's going to be all the tiny, tiny feathers. So I'm just going to fill in this part. Not worrying about anything. All right, so we're just going to fill in that part, not really worrying about anything. If you notice, though, I'm just kind of like, I'm still doing the fluffy motion. I'm still like doing little dabs and stuff because it just puts the texture on there for you. It puts the texture on there for you. It starts getting, you know, your mind and your hand and your brain working like, oh, you know, this is going to be all like little dabs and texture and feathers, so... You know, you just want to play. You just want to play as you're doing that. All right, so once I have that piece down, now I'm going to grab my paint. And that's going to be all the little feathers. All right, so this is going to be all the little feathers in here. So I'm just dabbing. I'm dabbing, you know, even though I'm going to come back in here with color. You know, I just want to play with that texture. So I'm just dabbing my brush. And now I'm going to wipe it off so it's nice and flat. And I'm going to grab that white paint. And now we're going to put the long feathers in. Okay? So, they're going to start off, you know, they're going to be small. And then they're going to get bigger as they go out. Alright? So, I'm just going to put dashes like that. Okay? So, I'm just pulling dashes like this. So, if you notice, I'm holding my brush still. And I'm just moving my hand. And then as I work my way up, I'm making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so that was just with a flat brush and drawing individual lines. And all I did was move my hands. So the ones in here are going to be small. So nice and small. And then as I work my way out, they're going to get bigger. And I did that little bend around. So this is actually going to be out like that. And then these are going to be a little shorter. So, whenever you're looking at a picture of a bird, you want to make sure you're paying attention. Shoop. Be nice if you guys could actually see the wing I'm doing. You want to make sure you're paying attention to what the different wings are doing. All right, so this one I did when you get towards this part, they're going to be smaller, and then they fan out longer. Then they fan out longer, and then as you come into the body, they're smaller. All right, so the ones right on the tip are going to be smaller, and then you get nice long feathers, and then when you come in, they get smaller again. All right, so now that I have my basic shape in, now that I mapped my shape, now I could put in the colors. Happy Tuesday, Tracy. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, love. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Tracy is on point. That's my girl. That's my girl. I was wondering when you were going to get here. We already did like 3 birds already. Where have you been? All right, so now I want to do my colors, right? So an eagle is like mostly brown. Oh, goodness. Here we go with the brown. So I'm going to go back to that small round brush that we had. And I'm going to mix myself some browns. Okay? Because we want different colors. We want different colors of brown. So I'm going to make just my base color. I'm going to make one darker and I'm going to make one lighter. All right? So, you know what? Let me grab that 1/2 inch so I can mix my paint. And then I'm going to be paint. So brown, right, guys? How do you make brown? Red, yellow, right? Mix that all together. White is going to make a peach. Everything's good here, Tracy. So far, so good. So red, white, yellow is going to make a peach. And then it's up to you. You can either grab black or you can grab blue. But you want to grab a little bit at a time. And when you mix it in, you will get a brown. So you just grab a little bit of black at a time. And then just keep grabbing it until it's about, you know, the darkness that you want it to be. All right. So, and if it's looking a little gray, you want to add more red. You want to add more red, and you want to add more yellow. Okay, and you just keep playing with it. You just keep playing with it. So if you grab the black and you go to mix it in, it's looking a little gray, then just grab more red and grab more yellow. You know, if you add the black and it's looking a little purple, you have to add more yellow. If it's looking a little green, you got to add more red. So there is my brown. All right, and over here, I'm going to smush the excess off of my brush. So over here, I'm going to make my dark brown. So I'm going to grab some more black. And I'm going to make this nice and nice and nice and dark. Okay, so there's my dark brown. Right? Nice pile of dark brown. And I'm going to pull the excess off of my brush here. Give it a swirl, tap, dab. And over here, I'm going to make my light brown. So I'm going to grab that brown I made, and I'm going to grab some of my white, and I'm going to make my light brown. Okay, so then I have 3 different colors of brown. I've got the base color, I've got the darker, and I've got the lighter. All right, so there we go. Now I have all my different browns working for me here. Okay, so that's what you want to make sure you have. And I am going to start off, I'm going to go back to that small round brush that I used before. And I am going to just use the base brown, the, first original brown color. And I'm going to come in here, and again, this is going to be little dabs, right? Because this is his small feathers. So I'm just going to do these little dabs, following my shape that I made. Following the shape that I made, and see how I'm just dabbing, dab, 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 dab. Nothing important. And I'm not putting it everywhere. I'm putting it here, there, not everywhere. I'm not filling this whole thing in. You can see the spaces in there. All right, so we're not filling this whole thing in. All right, and then I want to do the same thing on the other side. Just do all these little dabs. That's all you're doing. Here, there, not everywhere. You don't have to fill the whole thing in. You know, and if it gets a little mushy, that's fine. If you're just kind of mushing it in there, that's fine. No worries. No worries. All right, so I have that. And then now I'm going to grab the dark brown that I made. I didn't clean my brush or nothing. I'm just grabbing the dark brown that I made. And on the bottom part and close to his body, I'm going to put the dark ones. So I'm going to fill those in. Okay, so, and I'm just doing little flicks like this. Just little flicks. Doot, 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 doot. Just little flicks. That's all I'm doing. So close to his body, I want to put the darker color. Alrighty, and then I got to do the other side. We're going to do the other side, and we're just doing little flicks, guys. So in the middle of the wing here, I'm going to follow it in, and then toward next to his body, I want that nice and dark. So I'm going to fill that in. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my lighter brown. My lighter brown, I'm going to do the top part here. I'm going to fill this in on the top part. Again, just doing dabs and just doing dabs. And let it, you know, let it do its magic. Let it do its magic. It's going to wind up mixing in with some of the other stuff. You know, let it do its magic. That's all. So I'm just grabbing my lighter brown paint. And I'm putting that on the top part of the wing now. You know, and just doing a couple of dabs in here. A little smush, smush here and there. Smush here, or smush there, or smush here. You know, just to kind of get it all to combine together. Hi, Sharon. How you doing, sweetheart? Just get it all to combine together there. All right? So, there you go. And then when this dries, you can go in and really make those 3 different things pop if you want to. So, when that dries. And so then the next thing I want to do is there is a layer of wing that is right in here before you get to the long guys. Okay? So there's a layer of wing right in here, small wings. So I'm going to grab that base brown. I didn't clean my brush off. I'm still using that small round brush. No big deal. Okay? And I'm going to put in. So I'm going to make these longer. Alright? Because there is a, like, middle-sized layer of wing going through here. Okay, so if you see, I'm just doing long little pieces. Long little pieces. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy here. Just doing those longer little pieces, and I'm still doing like a little flick motion. And again, here, there, not everywhere. If you notice, I didn't put them all next to each other. I just put them here and there. Not everywhere. And the neighbor is mowing his lawn, so Butters is going to be chiming in here. He's going to be chiming in. What you doing, Butters? Is that the lawnmower? So, now that I used the middle color, I'm going to go in and grab the dark brown now. I'm going to grab the dark brown, and I'm going to put in the dark brown lines. All right? I'm going to put the dark brown lines in. So I'm going to put those, you know, where next to where his body is going to be. And I'm just filling this in, you know, in between those other ones. The dark brown. Hola, Lily. How you doing, sweetie? Some earthquake. I'm trying to move you guys closer so you can see it better. There we go. That's better. That's better. Hola, Lily. Hello, Sharon. So, where I left those spaces, I'm putting in the longer lines of dark brown. All right? Now I'm going to swirl tap down my brush. I'll be right back, guys. Come on, Butters. Butters. I let the Mr. Butters outside. I put the little Mr. Butters outside. So, because he's not going to stop until the guy's done mowing his lawn. Because it's very big news. That's big news, guys. It's big news when the neighbor's mowing his lawn. I need to know that. I need to know that. He needs to make sure he tells me that. He's such a good boy. Alright, so can you guys guess what I'm going to grab next? I'm going to grab the lighter color brown. So I'm going to clean off my brush. I'm going to swirl tap dab my round brush. And I'm going to grab the lighter brown now. And I'm going to put those on the outside part. So I'm just going in between, and then, you know, you can kind of mix like all three of them together. You can mix like all three of them together if you want to put like a few light ones in here, like, oh, you know, something's hitting in there. But you want to put the majority of it towards the tip. Okay, so I'm just doing these longer lines. These longer lines here. I'll put a couple here, there. You know, here and there. Whatever. Whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Okay? So. And lastly, for eagle wings is the last bit of really, really long feathers. Is the really long feathers now. So I'm going to grab that base brown again. Oh, got to swirl tap dab my brush because I just dipped it into black paint for some reason. Don't know why. When I'm using brown. All right, so now I'm grabbing that base brown again, and I'm going to add the long feathers. Okay, so nice, long, easy strokes. That's all you need to do. All you need to do, and you're just using the white that you put on before as a guide. You don't have to follow it completely. And if you notice, I'm not putting these like all mashed up. I'm leaving space in between them. You want to see the individual feathers. Okay, so you want to see the individual feathers. So if you notice, I'm leaving spaces in between here. So then when I add the other colors on top, you know, to fill it in, you're going to see the individual feathers. Okay, so that's the one side. And I'm going to come on over and do the other side now. So, right, there's short ones right on the tip. And then you get to the nice, really pretty long ones. You get to the nice, pretty long ones there. So we'll put those in. And, you know, you want to follow that arch around. You want to make sure that you're following that shape and you're putting your lines in so they're, you know, they're angled this way and then that way. And like they're fanned out, like your fingers fan out. That's how you want to do feathers because they're fanned out. All right, you don't want to have them all like going straight down like this because that's a different wing shape. Thank you, Aaliyah. You know, you have to make sure you're following the shape of the fan. Okay, guys, so you want to make sure you're following the shape of how it's fanned out. You noticed I didn't break from the shape of the fan. Did I go past my white marking? Yes. But did I break the shape of the fan? No. If you notice as I'm putting these in here, I'm following that angle. And I'm pulling these out, following that shape. Alright, so now I want to swirl tap down my brush. And the reason I'm cleaning in between colors now is because I don't want my brush to get globs on it. I want it nice and loose and thin. So when I draw these lines, you're really going to see the different lines in here. If my paint's globby or if I have globs on my paintbrush, this is going to get all mushed together and then it's going to look like this. And we don't want it to look like this. We want these long and pretty. Okay, we don't want them to mush together. So you want to make sure you clean in between your colors. You want to make sure your brush is nice and clean and a nice thin edge. I lost my soda. I found it. So the longer feathers are nice and smooth, okay? You want to make sure the longer feathers are nice and smooth. So that's why I'm cleaning my brush. And hi, Joy. How you doing, sweetie? We're doing any eagles. We're doing eagle wings or hawk or big birds or whatever you want to call them. How you doing, Joy? All right. So once I have that, I'm going to grab the dark brown now. Nice clean brush, nice and smooth. See that? See that nice point on there? Okay, Lisa. See you later, hon. See that nice smooth point on there? That's what you want. And the darker ones, right, are going to be in close to his body. Okay, so in close towards his body. Right, here, there, not everywhere. Because you don't want to get these all mushed up. You don't want them to be all mushed up together. Hi, Nancy. How you doing, hon? You don't want them to be all mushed up together. Okay, and then I'm going to stick a couple of darker ones in here. Just, just for giggles. I almost said the first part of that. Kid friendly, Eve. Kid friendly. Okay, so, and then if you see any spacing, you could fill in, where you might have missed painting something in. Nice, long, and thin. So I'm going to swirl tap down my brush before I do the other side. Hi, Nancy. How you doing, love? How you been? Okay, so nice and thin and smooth. See that? And I'm going to pull these out. Nice and thin and smooth. Nice and thin and smooth. And you don't want them to mush up into the other ones. You want these to stay individual. Okay? And I'm going to put a couple in here just for, the giggles. Just for the giggles. So we'll put a couple in here and there. Okay? Right? Swirl, tap, dab my brush. And I'm going to put the lighter pieces in now. So I'm going to grab that light brown. And right on the edges here, right? So right on top, we're going to have... Now these, you don't want to cover up all that fun that you made. So you don't want to put them... You don't want a lot of the lighter ones. And you could also add the lighter color to the tips. So I'm not doing like a full feather. I'm kind of just adding a little piece, a little tiny piece to the tips here. Just a little tiny bit. See that? Just a little tiny bit. So it looks like the tips of the wings are catching the light. So I'm not doing a full stroke, but I'm just putting a little tiny bit in here. Here, there, not everywhere. I'm just doing like a flick. Just doing a flick. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side. And you want to, on the tip here, right, do a little flick outward. And then you could fill these in. And like I said, you put a couple here and there. Nice long ones. And then as you work your way around, you don't want to fill this all in, because since this has the most white in it, it's going to cover up like all the other ones you did. You can hear him barking out there, Joy. I had to put him outside because the neighbor's mowing his lawn. So now he's outside. He's saying hi to all the neighbors. So I'm going to come in here, and then I'm just going to put a couple of pieces right on the ends. Right on the ends. So this way it looks like a highlight. So this is looking a little flat, and I know the other pieces are all nice and dry. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go back in and add another layer of color. So I cleaned my brush off, and I'm grabbing that dark brown, the dark brown. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to add some more of that dark brown in here. Just to give it some more depth. Just, here, there, not everywhere. If you notice, I'm just doing little dabs here, there, not everywhere. Okay, so I'm adding some more of that dark brown in here. Give it some more depth. Okay, and I'm just putting a couple here, there, not everywhere. All right, just here, there, not everywhere. Just a little hint. Just a little hint. Just a little hint of, you know, the feathers being underneath. Just small little dabs and dots and whatnots, you know, nothing major here. Just adding a little more depth to it. Because, you know, when you add the dark, it'll make everything pop out. And then if there's any spot that I miss, I'm just going to do a couple little flicks of the dark in there. Okay, so any of those spaces I might have missed, I'm going to fill those in with the dark. Here, there, not everywhere. Okay, and that's going to make my shape pop, and it's going to turn around and make the lighter pieces pop out even more. Or say you wound up with a big glob somewhere, you could turn around and put a slice of dark through it. So that would be, that is, ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. That would be your wings of any of the larger birds, the prey birds. He is facing the camera. Hi, Tammy. How you doing, sweetie? So he's facing the camera. So if I did his face and everything else, he'd be looking right at you, Joy. He'd be eyeing you up, seeing if you're good for breakfast or not. He'd be eyeing you up. Because on the inside of his wing is where you're going to see all of this detail. If it was the other side, this would be a little more flat. Because they have like longer feathers on the other side. It's like a little more smooth on the other side, like the back side. So hi, Tammy. How you doing, sweetie? So while you guys are ketchup mustard, all right, those that are practicing along, we have, drum roll, we have Lily. She was the first to chime in, and Sharon and Aaliyah and Kristen is here, and Cynthia, Kim, Lizzie, Teresa, Deb is going to be watching the replay. Maybe she's still on, maybe she isn't. And Lisa, she's going to be coming back. Julie is in the house. We got Tracy, we got Tammy, and we got Joy. What? Hi, fam. How y'all doing? Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Tammy. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right. Right? A nice Tuesday. Some of you have cold weather. Some of you have rain. Some, you know, we had sunshine, so I'm blessed about that. I have to be careful, though, because I have very severe allergies. So even though it's beautiful out, I can't take advantage of it half the time. All right, so next up, angel wings. Angel wings. So Aaliyah can make her angel painting. All right, so angel wings. Angel wings come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and all sorts of fun things. Hi, Magna. Magna, we did a red-tipped blackbird, I think this was called. And we did an eagle. That's what we did, and now we're going to move on to angel wings. So you're enjoying the beautiful weather. I'm glad to hear it. Hi, Magna. Hi, beautiful. Hi, sweetheart. So, angel wings. So what am I going to grab? I'm going to grab my white paint, right? And I have to pick what style angel wing I want to do. Right? Because they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, all sorts of things going on. Right? So, angel wings. Let me grab that flat brush that I was using before, that little flat brush. Bye, sweetheart. Go have fun. Have fun outside. Enjoy the fresh air. All right, so unswirl, tap, dab in my flat brush. Unswirl, tap, dab my flat brush. Okay, get all the browns out of it. Now I'm going to grab my white paint to do my shape. Okay, So we're going to do like a guardian angel shape, right? So this is, you want to turn around and do an arch up this way, and then do an arch up this way. Okay, and I'm pressing very lightly, and I'm keeping this so it's nice and soft and feathery. You know, like I said, you can start playing around with those textures before you even draw the wing in. Right? Keep it nice and feathery. And then, when you have that, this is going to drop down. It's going to drop down. Okay, and this side's going to drop down. Like that. Right? And I will show you. And then this part in here, this gradually works its way up to this point, okay? So we're going to just gradually, I'm just doing like a little zigzag motion. Gradually works its way back up to that point. And the same with this side. Gradually works its way. So I'm just doing like a little zigzag motion. All right, I'm just doing a little zigzag motion. Get myself feeling what's going on here. Okay, and if you notice, I'm doing both sides at once. What do you call an angel when the wings go downward? I'm not really sure, Joy. What do you call an angel when the wings go downward? Then the other upward. Oh, I don't know. Like when you have one downward or one upward, I have no idea. So if you guys notice, I'm doing both sides of these at the same time so I can get it to match up. Right? So I'm going over here and then I'm coming over here. Like, don't draw one side and then try to draw. I don't know, Joy. What's the answer? What's the answer, love? So don't try to draw like the one and then the other. Do both, all the pieces at the same side so you have more of them coming out evenly. So you have them coming out evenly. Okay? And then this part's going to really come out because this is going to have shorter ones coming out from the sides of this. So I'm just doing little flicks with this flat brush. That's all I'm doing. I'd call that lopsided, Joy. That's what I would call that. With one down and one up. I'd call that lopsided. Alright. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm doing those flicks again. I'm just doing those flicks. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing those flicks to fill this in. That's all I'm doing. Flicking my flat brush, holding it so it's straight up and down, vertical. And I'm just filling this in with flicks. Nothing major. Nothing major going on here. Right, now I'm going to switch to that small round brush. I'm going to switch to that small round brush and I'm going to grab that white paint and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put the little, like the connectors piece. So that's going to do like a little loop in this way and this is going to do a little loop in that way. Like where it connects to the shoulder blades. Okay, so you want to put that little piece in there because that's where it's connecting to the shoulder blades. Okay, so you want to have those in there, those little round pieces. And now I'm going to grab, let's do, oh, I have no idea, Joy. Let's do pink angel wings. Why not, right? So I'm going to grab my red paint. I'm going to grab some red paint here. And I'm going to grab my white. Okay? And I'm going to make a base pink. Okay? So I'm going to make a base pink color here. Grabbing my red and white. Right? So there's my base pink color. Okay, and you don't have to make 3 piles of color. I'm not really sure what those are, Joy. I'm not really sure. So, because we could just do this by grabbing the paint as we're painting instead of making 3 piles of color. So I'll show you how I do that, all right? So I have this nice base pink color, okay? And then I'm going to come in here, and these guys are going to be short in here. So I'm going to do short little flicks in here. We're going to do short little flicks in here because these are all small. Okay, just short little flicks. Okay, and wipe off my brush because it's kind of globby with all the mixing I did. And I'm going to come in here and do the short little flicks here. Just flicking away. That's all we're doing, flicking away. Flick, 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 flick. There we go. Here, there, not everywhere, right guys? Here, there, not everywhere. So these are all going to be short in here. These are all going to be short. Okay, all nice and short in there. Now I'm going to do the longer pieces. So coming up off of this point is the longer pieces. Oh, an archangel. Yeah, because I think like those are the ones, they're not a fallen angel because both wings would be down. So if they have one wing up and one wing down, I guess they're the archangels. I'm not really sure, to tell you the truth, hon. I don't know what that would be. So, did the small flicks, and now I'm going to do the long pieces. Okay, so I'm going to come off of this tip, and I'm going to just pull. With my paintbrush, I'm just pulling and doing these nice long pieces. Again, here, there, not everywhere. Doing these nice long pieces right here. Okay, nice and long. Filling these in. Nice and long. Okay, just filling in some nice long pieces. All right, and I want to go over to the other side and fill these in nice and long. Just like that. Just filling it in. Yeah, so that might be like the archangels. I'm not really sure. So you got this, Aaliyah? You following along here, sweetie? You getting this? So you can do your angel painting. Okay? And then I'll show you angel wings that are spread out like the eagle's wings. Oh, okay. That sounds nice. That sounds nice, Joy. That sounds like a really nice gift. So, doing nice long pieces in here. All right, good. Glad. All right, Aaliyah. Good stuff. Okay, so nice and long. Okay, and then in here they're gonna feather. Remember, they're gonna meet up to that elbow part. All right, so swirl tap dab my brush, and I'm gonna grab just red now. I'm gonna grab just the red. So let me give that a second to dry and give you a minute to catch up mustard. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing out there? Hi, Kelly. How you doing, sweetheart? You popped on just when I was saying hello to everybody. So I found this trick with my hair. When I get out of the shower, I put a little bit of mousse in it. And then I just brush it into the shape I want it to be, and it actually doesn't come out too bad. It just keeps its shape. So I'm actually you forgot. How do you forget? So I'm kind of feeling myself with my hair lately, because I found a little trick. All right, good, Leah. I'm glad you're doing great. Hi, Kelly. How could you forget, Kelly? That's all right. You're along with Tracy. She forgets what day it is, so. Thank Thanks, Joy. Yeah, I'm going back to, you're used to the Friday nights. That's like Tracy. She comes on Tuesday and says Happy Friday, but she got it right today. Thanks, Joy. Yeah, this is like my color I had when I was a kid, so I'm going back to natural. Thanks, Terry. Right? They're not too hard to do, and you get it looking really pretty. Get it looking really pretty. So we got Terry in the house. Alright, so I'm going to grab that round brush. I'm going to grab that round brush. And I'm going to go right into just my red now. Just the red. The flicks are fun, right? It's not hard. The flicks are real fun. Because it just makes it happen. So I'm grabbing just red now, right? My darker color. And I'm going to do those flicks. Right? Here, there, not everywhere. I'm going to do the flicks of the red. Okay? And I'm going to fill in. So this wing is like folded over. Yeah, it makes it nice and easy. It makes it nice and easy to have it look all blended and pretty. Oh, so Boy Angels has a rounded top? All right, Joy. See, you're just full of knowledge tonight. I'm telling you. I don't know that much about angels, so that's kind of cool to know. So, of course, girls have the points. That's so we could jab you with them. Okay, so I'm filling in these small little flicks. Okay, small little flicks in here. Of the darker color now. And then over here, I'm just going to do some longer swipes right there. So I want to fill this all in. Because this is kind of like folded up. This part of his wing is folded up. Right? Totally learning something new every day. Joy's got the fun angel facts for us tonight. I love it. I like it a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do the small little pieces in here now. With the red. Just red on my brush. I'm going to do the other side here, the small little pieces. Just doing the small little pieces, just doing like little flakes, and then I'm going to do, you know, when you do the end ones, you got to do the longer. Okay, so when you do the ones on the edge here, that's when you're going to do the longer. You're going to do the longer parts. And again, following the flow of this. Notice these are all arching inwards. You see that? Yeah, he's neighbor's doing diligence out there because he's still going on. I'm gonna let him in a minute. So if you notice, I'm following the shape of this. I'm not doing my feathers straight up and down or sideways. We're curving them. We're curving them and following the curve. Okay? So make sure that you're following your shape. Make sure that your feathers are following your shape. Make sure you're doing the curve. Okay? And then in here is going to be the small ones. Here is going to be the small ones. All right. So, thanks, Callie. So, let's swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to grab, now I'm going to have paint and magic happen. I'm not going to pre-mix anything. I'm just going to grab my white paint. And I'm going to grab my red paint. And I'm going to do a little smush smush. Just a little smush smush, and we're going to come in here and we're going to fix all this white edge that I made. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just do dabs across the top here to fill in all that white, and then I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to pull it in so I cover up that white right there. All right, I'm going to grab my red, I'm going to grab my white, do a little smush smush. I'm coming here. and do dabs across the top of this to fill in that white. Okay, make sure I keep my point because I want my girl angel. And then pull it in. Pull it in. Okay. Pull it in. So I am just filling in. I'm just filling in that white that I missed before. All right, and make sure your little elbow pieces here are nice and smooth. All right, make sure those stay nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going to do a little smush smush with my brush here, and I'm just going to pull this in. Pull this in. And then I'm going to make sure that my point is good. And then I'm going to pull this one nice. Pull it nice and long right along that side there, and then do a little flick on the edge. Okay, nice and long on that side there. I would say so, Joy. I would say so. If I wound up trying to glue feathers to make something, I'd come out looking like a chicken. I'd have those feathers glued all over myself. I'd be the one looking like a chicken. All right, so I'm going to pull this nice and long here and get that nice and nice, just a nice pull down. And then do a couple little flicks at the end. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Let that dry a little bit. All right, so again, with acrylic paint, like you guys know, the more layers you add, the more it's realistic it's going to look. So like when we do those cutesy paintings, you know, I have you add maybe a second and third layer to get the colors to really pop. So when you're doing something that has details in it, you know, it's the same thing. The more layers you add onto it, the more realistic it's going to look. So that's what you want to keep in mind. So, you know, you want to give it a chance to dry because you don't want to make this a big mushy mess. So you give it a minute to dry, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to paint the same exact thing we painted, but it's going to be adding a second layer, and we're going to play with the colors a little bit more. And, you know, same thing we did up here. Remember, I did the white, and then I did the 3 different colors of brown. And then once it dried, I went in with that dark brown and added just an extra layer to it, just an extra touch to it. So that is the trick with acrylic paint. That is the trick with acrylic paint. The more layers, the more realistic it's going to look. The more layers, the more your colors are going to pop. So, you guys know what's coming up next Friday, right? I'll show you guys again for those of you who popped on late. So, everything has a Mother's Day theme. I don't know if you noticed, we had the little baby chicks, which everybody who painted that, they were so cute. I couldn't stand it. They were adorable. So, this is this Friday. Mama Dragon in the house. Oh, yeah. So, that's this Friday. We got the sun rays coming through. We got the rocks. Got some trees going on, just like the trees that we had with the ducks. You didn't do the ducks yet, Kelly? That's okay. And then this one's a work in progress. So, I was going to do a bumblebee thing. But I noticed somebody else had that, so I went with these instead. So can you guys, so this is going to be Mama Frog with her 2 baby frogs there. That's going to be next Friday. And this How To Tuesday coming up, what do you guys want to see? What do you want to see for next week for How To Tuesday? Let's look at the list here. So we have, I didn't do animals yet. I didn't do eyes and lips yet. We didn't do cats yet, or doggies. I'm doing wings tonight. So, you guys want me to do animals? Yes! Frogs! Alright, Kelly, I'm going to be waiting to see those ducks. Yeah, so, well, I'm going to be doing an animals one, but there's so many animals, so I figured doing a cats and then doing a dogs one, you know, obviously, because animals, there's so many animals. So, And then I was... Do I paint people faces? So I do not like to paint. I can paint people. They don't come out. So yes, animals. All right. Thanks, Michelle. Like silhouettes. Yes. So Kelly loves the animals too. So I can do faces. They don't come out like Rembrandt. They don't have that Renaissance look to them. They don't have that much depth. But how to paint a face, I do know how to. They are very hard. And I really don't have the patience. That's why I don't paint them very often. Because if I'm painting a face and it doesn't have to look like anybody, that's great. But if I'm painting a face to where it needs to look like somebody, hi Coney, you get one little angle wrong anywhere in the face, be it an eyebrow, be it an eye, you know, whatever the shape of the mouth. If you get one little angle wrong, it changes the whole face and no longer looks at the person. Plus the proportions, how close are their eyes, how big is their nose, how big is their mouth, like where is it on their face, do they have a big forehead. So they're very, very difficult. They're time consuming. But I'm going to show you, yes, it is torture, absolutely. So, but one of my how-tos is going to be eyes and lips and stuff like that, so you guys know how to paint the parts of the face. And then you could practice making your faces. So that's going to be one. So, but next week's going to be animals. So we're going to do just straight up animals. And I'll put a part in the event of what animals you'd like to see. I know, right, Tracy? Craziness. Hi, Coney. How you doing, sweetie? Welcome to the family, love. Welcome to the family. We're just practicing tonight. Oh, I lost my roll call. Oh, I found it. No, wait, is this nope, this is a different night. Same names though. You're welcome, hun. Oh, I lost our roll call for tonight. Looking at the list. Where's tonight's roll call? Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I think I found it. Yes, I found it. What? All right. Bye, Aaliyah. Finish watching the replay to finish the angel wing, because we weren't done with it yet. I'm not done with the angel wing yet. So make sure you hop back on to watch the rest of this, okay? All right. So now what I'm going to grab is just my white paint. Just white, now that this is nice and dry. And I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to make sure that my elbow is nice and smooth here. So I'm going to make that, and then I'm just going to flick this white paint in. But I want to make sure that elbow part is nice and smooth right there, and the same on the other side. Okay, and then I'm just going to flick that in. Right? And then I'm going to, so I'm just grabbing white paint now. And I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to do little bend-ins. So like it's smooth on top, and then it's bending in. Smooth and bending in. Smooth and bending in. Okay, so little bend-ins. And then get my point again. Put this in. Okay, so I'm going to add, and now this I'm just softening it. I'm just pulling them in more, but if you notice I didn't grab any more paint, I'm just kind of using the paint that's on there and pulling it into the wing. Okay, so that little bend in is going to give it like it's fluffy. Okay, it's going to give it like it's fluffy, all right? So now I'm going to come in here and do the same thing. So I'm going to do these little bend-ins. That's what I call them. I don't know what you call them. So I'm just going to go around, like a round. See how I'm doing this like a round shape and then pulling it in. A round shape and pulling it in. Round, pulling it in. Okay, and then you just do like a little mush mush. Right? So now this is what's going to make it look like it's got some fluff going on there. Okay, so I'm going to pull that in, and then I'm going to make sure that my point is nice and pointy. Pull that down. Shoop. And do a little smush smush here. Pull this in. Okay, so now, if you notice, I didn't grab any more paint. I'm just kind of feeding this into my wing a little bit. Just feeding that in. Yes, I swirl tap dab my brush all the time. So this whole time that I was talking to you, my brush was sitting in the water. So your brushes always should, for you guys, you should always make sure that your brush is nice and moist. Not, you know, not dripping wet. You know, so I swirl in the water, I tap it on the side, and I dab it on my paper towel. So yes, if you want to do a dry brush technique, you can totally get a fluffy, you can do fluffy dry brush technique. I can show you that. So let me grab one of my dry brushes here. Let's grab a dry brush. All right, so I'm going to grab Fluffy, small Fluffy that I use for the paint party. So this is a stiff bristled brush. And I'm not going to wet them beforehand. And I'm going to go into my white paint. All right, so this is a dry brush, and it's a fluffy, beat-up, old bristly brush. The bristles are going in every direction, so I'm going to smash in some white paint onto him. And if you see, the bristles are like every direction. And then I'm going to wipe off the excess. We want to wipe off the excess, and then you could come in and do a dry brush technique, which is going to get fluffy too. So I'm going to do, see, so this is the dry brush. So that's pretty cool. You know, but you got to be careful, because if you have too much paint doing the dry brush, you're going to wind up with some major globs, and since you're brushing it on dry, it's going to be hard to blend those out. So very little paint when you dry brush. And you want to make sure you have a nice stiff, beat up, bristly brush, and you can go in and add the fluffies that way. But like I said, you have to be careful, because you can hear it scraping because it's dry. If you wind up with a glob, you're not going to be able to get that off. Okay, so that's what the dry brush is doing. And then, you know, because if you want it, like, dry brush is good too if you want to do like some mist. You know, if you want to do like some mist, you can dry brush some mist. Right, so that's what dry brushing is good for, like stuff like that. Like, say I wanted mist around these wings, like you can hear me scraping, right? You can hear the brush pushing. So I'm just pushing with a dry brush really hard, actually, with very little paint on my brush. Very little paint. All right, and grab some more paint. So if I wanted to put like some mist around these wings, right? Some fog, maybe some angel clouds. This is all dry brush. But you really have to work at it. You really have to mash it in there. Okay, so I'm grabbing little tiny bits of paint at a time. And this way, if you want to do like some mist or whatever, if you want to do some fluffies, it's really good for that. It's just that I'd be concerned if you guys being really new at painting, because you could get yourself into trouble. I'm not in Ontario. I'm in New Jersey, Connie. All right. And then, you know, do a little softening. So that would be dry brushing. All right, guys? Quick little thing on dry brushing. All right, so now that I just dry brushed this all in, it looks pretty much done. But I'm going to still go in with my round brush and my white paint. And I want to make sure my white paint is nice and loose and thin. Okay, so I'm going to add some water to it. I want this. Oh, okay, Connie. You're from Ontario. There's a few Canadians on here tonight. So, welcome to the fam, sweetie. And, yes, you got it, Connie. You got it. I'm in New Jersey. You're from Ontario. And there's some other family members on here from other parts of Canada. So, I want to make sure this is nice and loose and thin. See that? Nice and loose and thin. See that? How it's drippy? There you go. All right. And then I'm going to round my brush out. And I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to put in the pieces that kind of come off the edge. I'm going to put the pieces that come off the edge. Okay, so if you noticed, that worked nice and easy because my paint was so nice and loose and thin. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, nice and loose and thin, and I'm going to put the pieces coming off the edge. So my paint is super loose, super thin, to make this nice and easy to fill this all in. And very, very light strokes, very light touch. Nice thin paint. Coming in. Filling this all in. Okay, nice and loose and thin paint. Nice and loosey-goosey paint here. Right? I want to make sure my two sides match up. So, very little paint, very loose paint, and a very, very light touch. And I'm just pulling the brush along. I'm getting all those pieces to come off the sides. And then I could put some longer ones in here. Right in there. I'm going to put some longer ones right in here. Right? Make sure I'm coming off of that point. You know, you want to make sure you're coming off of this point. Okay, because that's where it's all folded up. So you want to make sure you're coming off of that point. Right here. Okay, so then I'm going to do the pieces on the inside now, coming right off of that point, and I'm just doing little flicks in here. That's all I'm doing. Just doing little flicks. Okay? You guys are awesome. I love when you all talk to each other as a family. It makes my day. I'm just sitting here. You guys are having the whole conversation with each other. I love it. I like it a lot. So, yeah, it's a nice loose and thin paint. You want to make sure you're coming out from your points because these wings are folded up. And you're just going to put these little white wispy things in here. All right, so there is your folded up angel wings. Give you guys a chance to catch up mustard. Try that little technique out. That's a lot of fun. All right, and then I'm gonna do the classic like span wing, like the ones you see on like the cherub babies. There you go, Connie. So you know like the angel wings you see on like the cherub babies. I'm gonna let Mr. Butters in. Mr. Butters, you want to come inside? Come on, Mr. Butters. So we're going to let the Mr. Butters in. Right? And then we're going to do the cherub wings. Right? And then if there's any other wings you want to see, there's all sorts of wings out there. So let me know. I'm going to do the cherub wings and then yeah, he's scampering around with his toy right now. He's very happy. So I'm going to do the wings that you would see on a baby cherub kind of angel. Oh, I don't know if you guys were done with that yet or not. So let me leave it on that. And obviously I'm going to be, can you hear his toy squeaking too? Squeaking his toy too. It's all about Butters tonight. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So let me know if there's anything else you want to see, because after the cherub wings, I was going to call it, but if there's something else you want to see, you guys let me know, okay? And I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna do these yellow. I'm gonna do the cherub wings yellow. Okay, guys. Yeah, he's squeaking his toy. He's running around. He's having a good old time, Kelly. So we got a roll call now that I found the list. Hey, Calpana, how you doing, sweetheart? So we're gonna do roll call. Connie, if you don't know this, but this is my favorite part. I love talking to you guys. That's okay, Calpana. You can catch the replay. So we have Joy and Lily and Sharon and Leah. Well, Leah left, but anyway, she was on here. And Kristen and Cynthia and Kim. Lizzie in the house. Teresa and Deb's going to watch the replay. I don't know if Lisa made it back or not. We got Julia, Tracy, Tammy, Kelly in the house. Terry, Connie. Welcome. And Calpana's here. Nice, Terry. I like that idea. Absolutely. 6,000%. So whatever you saw me do with the red, that's what you're going to do with the blue. So we started off with white, and then you're going to do blue and white, and then you're going to do just blue, and then you could do the white. So I like that idea. Try them in the blue. So I'm going to do the cherub wings in yellow tones, okay, guys? Because we didn't play with the yellow yet. We didn't play with yellow yet. So we're going to do that. So, hummingbird wings. Okay, aren't hummingbird wings the same as any other wings of a bird? I don't know. I'll look them up for you, honey, okay? So, I'll look those up, Denise. Denise, where have you been? Denise was hiding in the wings. Hi, Denise. That's okay. I post the replay right after this, Connie. So I post the replay in the event on the event page right after this. Denise was being a little creeper. Oh, Connie, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss, but that sounds amazing. I don't know. I'll look them up. I'll look them up for you guys, okay? So let me do the cherub wings real quick over here, and then I'll look up a hummingbird. So everything I'm looking up, guys, if you don't know about this, if you go on a Google and you type in what you want to paint, and then there's like a little list on the top of the page, and images. Images is one of the things you can click. And if you click images, you'll get a ton of pictures of whatever you typed in. Alright, guys, so if you ever need your reference pictures, that's how you get your reference pictures. Alright, so we're going to do cherub wings, alright? So I'm going to start off with my white paint, and I'm going into that 1/2-inch flat brush I had before. Alright? And I'm going to do my elbow piece right here. Right, and I'll do my elbow piece over here, right? And if you notice, I'm going to go back and forth, so this way my wings come out even. Don't draw one and then try to match the other one to it. Draw them both at the same time. So I'm going to pull this up this way, right? And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pull this one up, right? So you want to draw them both at the same time. And then I'm going to drop this down. Okay, just like that. I'm just going to drop this down, and then I'm going to drop this one down. Okay, kind of like two little evil eyes. Well, thank you, sweetie. All right, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. So now I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna mush the paint around here. I'm just gonna fill this in. I'm just gonna fill this in. Again. Getting a little feel of how I want my textures to be and all that good stuff. How do I want all my good stuff there? All right, so now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to grab my round brush, the round brush I was using, and I'm going to grab my yellow and I'm going to grab my white. So I'm just grabbing some yellow and some white on my brush, and now I'm going to put in my idea of where my wings are going to be. So all of these are going to be longer strokes. No dabbing this time. Okay? So I'm going to follow along. Remember, follow along your shape. And I'm going to put in these longer lines. I don't know if yellow is a good idea. Can you guys see this? Can you see the yellow? Is that good? Or let me move the camera closer. Okay, so you guys can see the yellow now, right? With the camera being closer? Okay. I just want to make sure you can see it. All right, and I'm going to put this part in. And these are all going to be longer strokes. Okay, cool. All right, thanks, guys. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure you could see what I was doing, because if you can't see what I'm doing, what's the point? So I'm just grabbing yellow and white paint. That's all I'm grabbing, yellow and white paint. And you're going to put in, now I'm just going to put in the sides. So if you see, I'm just pulling, following that shape that I made in the white, right? Making sure your feathers are all following the angles it's supposed to be, like fanning out, right? So you follow your shape and you do the fanning out. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side. Let's do the other side. I'm going to put this in. Okay, following your shape, making sure they're fanning out. These nice long pieces in. All right, just like that. Okay, and we got one stray little feather there. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. Adds a little bit of character. A stray little feather here. Let's do a stray little feather there. Okay. And then I'm going to fill in the ones in the middle. So I'm going to fill these in. Just doing long dabs and following my shape. Doing long pieces here. Everything's long pieces on these ones. There's no hiding behind, just doing the little dabs. Okay, so I'm just doing the inside ones now. Again, following the shape of the wing. Following the shape of the wing. That's right, Joy. Yep, so these are like I call them like the cherub wings, because they remind me of the ones that are on the cherub babies. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a minute, so my next layer of colors isn't going to become a mushy mess. So there's no dabbing, no dashing, no flicking. These are, you're actually doing the actual stroke with the brush to get those in there. Okay, so you're actually doing the stroke of the brush. So we're going to let this dry a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in. I'm going to add a little bit of red to my yellow. Just a small amount. And I'm actually going to switch to a smaller round brush. So I'm going to use Tiny from the paint parties. So this is the #1 round. And you know how I get a nice point on it, right? Just like that. That's right, Kelly. You stick it out. Butterfly wings done in a similar way. So butterfly wings, yes. So the whole thing about painting wings and making them look the same is draw them at the same time. When you do this piece, do this piece. When you do that piece, do this piece. You know, draw them both at the same time. So we're going to get our nice round brush to have a nice point on it. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab my white paint now. And I'm going to come in here. And now I'm going to add some more. So all those spaces I left. See how these all have spaces in here? Now I'm just going to pull my brush and put the white ones in. Here, there, not everywhere. You don't want to lose that yellow. Don't want to lose that yellow. Okay, and I'm just going to put in the white feathers now. Following along the shape, making sure it's all fanning outwards. Making sure it's all fanning outwards. Okay, so I'm filling in the white part because that's going to be the lighter part of the wings. So again, I'm just filling in those spaces, not losing the yellow that I did, just making it look a little more full, a little more full. Okay. One of these videos I did a monarch butterfly. What how-to was that? Anybody remember? Anybody remember what how-to I did the monarch butterfly on? Was it insects? Did I do it with the insects? I think it was the insects. Okay, so I'm gonna fill that in. And now I'm gonna add the smallest amount of red to my yellow. Insects, right, Michelle? Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks, Michelle. Yep, so if you guys want to see a monarch butterfly, you got to look at my insects video. Okay, so I'm going to grab the smallest amount of red, and I'm going to grab my yellow. I'm going to grab a lot of yellow, because I just want this to be a darker golden yellow color. I don't want it to be orange. So it was the smallest amount of red, the tiniest amount, and a lot of yellow. Okay, gives me this nice golden color. When was insects? Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, because I took off last week. I think it was the week beforehand. Yep, so you can totally check out how to do a monarch butterfly. So now I have this nice golden color. So now I can come in and add the darker parts. Okay, so now I can come in and add the darker pieces. Right? So, like, remember what I said, you know, the more colors and the more, you know, pieces you put in, the more realistic your wings are going to look. So now I'm just going in with the darker color yellow. And here, there, not everywhere, you know, like, you don't want to lose everything you just painted by covering it up. So I'm adding the darker yellow to it. Just like that. Okay, it's going to be on the bottom part. It's going to be nice and close to the body there. Right, so right by the body we're going to add one. And this was just adding the smallest amount of red paint to my yellow to get a golden color. A lot of yellow. You're welcome, Terry. No worries. So, a lot of yellow, little tiny bit of red. So I'm going to add this nice golden color in here. Right? Add this in here. So then we have the golden in our wings. And I'm going to stop because if I keep going, I'm going to wind up losing my lighter color, and I'm going to wind up losing my white, and I'm going to wind up losing my lighter yellow. So I'm going to stop with the dark because I'm enjoying doing that, and I'm going to wind up, and I don't want to lose what I did before. So now I'm going to grab just yellow. I cleaned my brush off, and I swirl tap dabbed it, and I'm going to grab just yellow. And I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to add just the yellow and fill this in. Because where I put that white now, just this yellow is going to pop on top of it. So, and again, here, there, not everywhere, because you don't want to lose everything you just did. So where I put that white part, though, just the yellow is going to pop on top of it. So, just yellow. And again, you see me doing these dab strokes, right? See me pulling the paint, see me going, I'm doing long pieces here. We're not doing any smushes, we're not doing anything, and I'm going in between the colors that I had, and I'm putting just the yellow on most of my white. So there you go. That would be yep, I do it all the time, Callie. I always lose my light when I do the dark, and then I have to go back in and put the light colors back in. It's all good. Okay, so there you go. That would be just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, guys. You have the cherub wings. All right, so let me look up that hummingbird for you guys. So let me look up the hummingbird. So again, Google, and then if you hit the images button, oh, okay, so hummingbird wings have like a little different of a shape. All right, so I'll show you these. These are cool. We can totally do a hummingbird wing. I got you. I got you. So we'll do a hummingbird wing. Thanks, Denise. So, what color paint am I going to grab to do a hummingbird wing? I'm going to leave this on here for you guys to catch up mustard a little bit if you're practicing along. If you're practicing along, I'll let you catch up mustard. And then we'll do the hummingbird wings. Butters is sleeping, guys. He wore himself out. He wore himself out. All right, so while you guys are catch-up mustering, I just want to remind you all that it is always free to watch. Replays are free, lives are free, but tips are definitely appreciated. So if you can, that would be amazing. Art supplies are not free. I say it all the time. Art supplies are not free. So you guys are the ones that keep this rocking and rolling. That's what you guys do. So figure I'll throw that in there, and we're going to do a hummingbird wing now. So let me find a blank spot on my canvas somewhere. We need a blank spot. I don't know where there's a spot. I guess we'll go down here. Blues and hot pinks and green and white made for the hummingbird wing. Okay, so let me find one that has better coloration in it, because the picture I picked doesn't have all the colors in it. Let's see if I can find one with all those colors. Blues and hot pinks. Alright, I'm looking for you guys. The one I picked was like just blue and gray. Ooh, that's a really pretty picture I just saw. Nope, don't like that. Alright, hold on. Give me a minute. I'm going to find it. Blues and hot pinks. I'm looking. I'm gonna get it. Have faith. Oh, that's on the outer wing, those colors, guys. Those colors are on the outer wing. What's this? Okay, I think I got it. All right. I got it. Bye, Michelle. See you later, sweetie. Okay, so, of course, you want all those colors in there. And we're going to turn around, and what am I going to start off with? You guys know. You guys know what I'm going to start out with. Come on. That's right. I'm going to start off with white paint. Alright, so I'm going to go back to that round brush I was using before. And I'm going to grab that white paint. And let's get our shape in there. You know, let me raise this canvas up for you. Okay, guys? So if you have any questions for me dealing with art, anything that you're having trouble with, or something that, you know, I can help you out with, now's the time to ask me. Because I'm going to do the hummingbird wing, and we're going to call this how-to. We're going to call this how-to a done how-to. That's what we're going to do. So if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know, okay? So let's do the hummingbird wing. I'm going to grab that round brush with that white paint. And the hummingbird wing shape is, so it comes out really long. Comes out really long like that. And then it comes in, shoop, like that. Mention my kit? Okay. Thanks, Joy. All right, so Joy commented to mention my kit. So I do have painting kits for sale. They're not just for one particular party. They're for every party. You get a tabletop easel that holds 11 by 14s, which you're going to get 2 11 by 14s. You get 4-ounce resealable tubes of the exact paint I use and all the colors. So you get blue, black, red, yellow, and white. And and they're 4 ounces, so they're about this big. And they're resealable tubes. You get all of the brushes I use, so you get Big Boy, Tiny, Mini Me, and the 3 Fluffies, large, medium, and small. They all come in a canvas bag, which you can decorate, and you get the same palette that I use. So you get everything and a care and instruction kit that'll totally break down how to care for your brushes and all of your supplies so they last you forever. And it's $45 plus shipping and handling. So that's how much they are, Denise. Okay, so they're really, really awesome. And the description of them is, there's a picture of them in the event page. So if you go to any one of my event pages, you'll see the description of them. Thanks, Joy. So there's my infomercial. Alright, so I'm going to pull this out this way. Yep, so everything you need to start up, and if you watch all of my paint parties, I use the same supplies every single party. So you're going to have enough paint, and you're going to have the same brushes I use all of the time. Okay, so, and then their wings. So this part's going to go shoop up like that. Okay, so it's really like this is more, alright, so this is more straightened out. Okay, there we go, shoop, like that. So there's a very large, yep, and any paintings you see, any of the paintings that you see for my paint parties, all of those paintings are for sale, and they're all under $50, depending on which one you want. They run from $30, $35, $45. So any of the paintings that you see that I use to display, not the instruction one, the one that I use to display, those are all for sale. Alright, so I'm going to go to that flat brush. Bye, Kelly! I'm going to go to that flat brush, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to pull along. So this piece is the base part, and then the feathers come out from that. So, and they're nice and long and pretty. So we're going to do the feathers. So I'm going to pull these out. So I just switched to the flat brush. Okay, and then these are nice and short, and they go down. And then as you work your way down the wing, it gets longer and longer. So this is a very large hummingbird wing. It's very large. Okay, so now that I have my shape, now I can start adding my colors. Okay, so we're going to turn around and we're going to make the base part here purple. So I'm going to grab my blue. I didn't clean my brush because the purple I'm going to need the white for. I have my blue, and I'm going to grab my red, and we're going to make a really cool purple color. I'm going to grab some white. All right, mix this all together. And we have that nice, awesome purple color. And we're going to fill that in. We're going to fill in this part of the wing in where everything connects. We're going to fill that in with the purple. Okay? So we're going to fill this in with the purple. And this is nice and smooth because this is where everything connects, so you don't see any of the little tiny, 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 tiny feathers. Right? And I'll swirl tap down my brush. And we're going to go in with the blues. So I'm going to grab my blue. I'm going to grab my blue, and I'm going to grab my white. My blue and my white, and I'm going to come in here and do the blue feathers, right? So these guys are the short guys. Again, I'm doing nice long strokes. Okay, so we're going to do the blue feathers. So I'm just holding it, and again, you want to follow the shape of your wing. All right, and then the next is going to be the green ones. So I'm just going to grab some yellow paint. Since I already have blue on it, grab a little bit of white. Grab a little bit of white. I am making a mess out of my palette. Oh boy. Now we're going to do the greens. Again, just pulling along. Just pulling along. That's all I'm doing. Nice light stroke. Nothing major. Following the shape of my wing. So we're going to do our base green color. Right? And then I'm going to turn around and wipe off my brush. Give it a good swirl, tap, dab. Give it a good swirl, tap, dab. And I'm going to grab my red with my white. Grab my red with my white. And I'm going to do the pink ones. Nice long pull there, right? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That's nice. I like that a lot. Of course, red's my favorite color, so of course I'm going to like this part a lot. So, I'm going to do the pink part here. All right, and then they have like a little orangey part, so I'm just going to grab some yellow. I'm going to grab some yellow, and I'm going to put in the orangey wings in here. Okay. All right, so, and now I'm going to grab my round brush, and I'm going to add lots of nice, awesome stuff into this part, because so I'm going to grab that green that I made before, which was the yellow, blue, and white, and I'm going to make some I'm going to put some more blue in it. I'm going to put some more blue and white into it to get it like a turquoisey color. Okay, so you mix yellow, blue, and white together to get a green, and then you grab more blue and more white to get a pretty turquoise color. And I'm going to come up in here, and I'm going to do all these flicks and little speckles, because they have those pretty colored speckles on the top of their wings here. So I'm going to do all these little dabs with the turquoise color like that. And then I'm going to just grab some white paint. Just going to grab some white paint and dab that in. So this way, when I do my second coat, the teal's really going to pop because it's going to have some white paint on there too. So I'm going to just do these little white dabs in here. Okay. And then I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to turn around and do the purple again. I'm going to dab in the purple again so that's nice and pretty. I'm going to make the purple a little darker so when I do here, there, not everywhere, you get that change up of color. So I'm going to do purple dot dashes in here. Right? And notice I'm dashing where I connected the feathers before. Here, there, not everywhere. Just doing these dashes. Okay. And then I'll swirl tap dab my brush and let that dry a little bit. I'll let that dry a little bit so then when I add the pink on there, it's going to look really cool. And now I'm going to do my second coat on these. So I'm going to grab just red now with this round brush. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull these out. Nice and long and pretty. Nice and long and pretty. Just the red. Just the red. Nice and long and pretty. Just like that. Right? Here, there, not everywhere. Right? So we don't lose our light and our dark. And now I'm going to grab the yellow and the red together. Come in here and do the orange section again, right? Get another coat on there. Add some dark into that light. Get a little more depth going on. Now I'm going to clean off my brush. And I'm going to grab my blue and my yellow. Come in here and get some darker green pieces coming in. Do the darker green pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to clean off my brush. And I'm going to grab just blue now. I'm going to grab just blue, put in these nice long just blue pieces, and then you want to do little flicks when you get to the top part of the wing here. Now I'm going to grab my turquoise from before. I'm going to dab that turquoise in, grabbing a little bit of blue with it, right? We're letting brush magic happen. So I'm going to grab that turquoise before with a little bit of blue. And I'm going to put this back in. Some darker dabs now. Right? So we have the light turquoise. We have the white that I put right on top of it to make an even lighter turquoise. And now I'm adding blue to that turquoise color to get the darker little pieces in here. And we're just going to muddle that all together. You like that word? Muddle. We're going to muddle it. We're going to muddle it. Make it pretty, pretty, pretty. Alright, I'll swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to grab just white now. And I'm going to put some just white dots in here. I'm going to put some just white dots in here, right? In between the purple and the blue dots that I did. I'm going to do some just white ones. All right? And now, with the white on my brush, I'm going to go back into that red. I'm going to do white and red. Get my pink color back. And my paint's starting to get goopy, so from being under these lights, so I'm going to grab a little bit of water. So it happens to everybody. Make sure that your paint is nice and free and flowing, because if it's goopy, you're not going to get the pretty soft lines for the feathers. So I grabbed a little bit of water And I'm making this nice and soft and flowing. Not you know, I don't want it gloopy globby. And I'm going to come in here, and then I can just pull my brush. And with it nice and thin and flowing, I can get these awesome feathery lines in here. Like nice, long, pretty lines to do the feathers. Okay, so I'm swirl tap down my brush. And I'm going to grab my yellow and red again. And I'm going to add some water to that to make sure that's nice and thin and loose and flowing. Because we want nice, loose, long, pretty, soft lines, right? So I loaded up my brush nice. I'm going to come in here. I got to make that a little darker. So I'm going to just add more red to it. I'm going to pull these out. Nice, long, soft lines. Okay, wash my brush off. I'm going to grab my blue and my yellow. Make sure that's nice and thin and loose. Come into the green. Pull those nice soft feathers out. Right, so you want to make sure your paint is nice and thin and loose. And now I'm going to grab my blue and come in here and connect this all. Nice and thin and loose. And here, there, not everywhere, right? So we don't cover up our lights and our darks. Right, and you kind of mush those two together because some of the feathers are going to wind up overlapping, so you can put some of that into the green. Hey, Holly, how you doing, love? Bye, Joy. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my tiny brush, and I'm going to grab that pink from before. So my tiny brush with the pink, and I'm going to just, those white dots I did before, I'm going to pop the pink on them so you can see it against purple. And there you have your multicolored hummingbird wing. So I hope you guys really like that. Lots of bright colors, very, very pretty, right? So thanks, Terry. So there is your very colorful and pretty hummingbird wing that you can add. And don't forget the little elbow piece there. So you need the little elbow piece in there. So make sure that you have that part going on. So this is going to be the elbow piece right here. All right, you want to make sure that you're connecting it to the body with that little elbow piece. Okay, so there is, you're welcome, Denise, thank you so much. So there you go, guys, there is our how-to wings. I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight. Y'all are my heart, fam, and always free to watch. Tips are appreciated. I do have kits available. All the paintings you see on my page, those are all available. And I just want you to have fun and go create, all right? So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And if you ever have any questions, just let me know. Anybody watching the replay, if you have any questions, just let me know. And I hope that you guys learn stuff. I hope y'all learn stuff on our How To Tuesday. Oh yeah, How To Tuesday wings. That's right. That's right, baby. That's how we roll around here. So thank you guys, and I hope you have an amazing evening. And I will see you all on Friday. So bye-bye, everybody. Have a great night.